Welcome to Relativity. On this channel, I'll be doing movie reviews and recommendations from a real world perspective, done in an immersive way that you hopefully haven't seen before. I also plan on eventually expanding into TV shows and other outlets once the channel begins to grow and I'm able to dedicate myself to it full time. This is the theater room where we'll be doing the reviews. The movie we're going to be reviewing today is Fences. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. With a name like Fences, if you haven't seen August Wilson's plays, you may wonder just where this subject matter is going. Denzel Washington, the director and main character Troy, in this play turned film, brings this movie to life. At first glance, Troy appears to be extremely likable as a husband, father, co-worker, and friend. Troy makes his living as a sanitation worker during the 1950s. He aspired to be a baseball player when he was young, but is aged out by the time Major League started to admit black athletes. If you've seen more than one of Denzel Washington's movies, you know that he brings a level of believability as well as likability to any role he plays. While he definitely highly believable as Troy, he is not always the likable Denzel Washington we've grown to know and love. Troy reminds us that he, as well as us in our own lives, play far more roles on a daily basis than we probably have ever thought about. And how you can become so stuck in the monotonous routine that is providing a living, you can look up one day and feel as if you're not living at all. As a husband, Troy appears to be the loving example of a husband most women would be happy to have. His wife Rose, played by Viola Davis, adores him, and they have some longevity in their relationship. Their marriage in this movie goes through a series of events which test the glue which holds them together. It reminds me of sayings I've heard, such as everything that looks good ain't, and the grass definitely isn't greener on the other side, it's not always greener. As a father, Troy's role is complicated. Parents are often put in the uncomfortable place of being the disciplinarian and making decisions which are less than popular. During the time of this movie, the 1950s, in a lot of African American households, the father was the sole disciplinarian. In this household, it was no different. A role he attempted to execute to the best of his ability, given the rotten examples he had in his own childhood. Rose, played by Viola Davis, is sold out to the notion of being the homemaker and good housewife. She, like many other housewives at the time, surely has all her eggs in one basket at a time when not as many women worked outside of the home. Her position in her household was very commonplace. Nonetheless, it was a pivotal position in maintaining balance, and it commanded respect. Corey, the son, played by Hovind Adepo, is a teenager and has his own very strong convictions about life and the direction he sees his life taking as a collegiate and football player. Needless to say, Troy, holding on to his past aspirational letdown, does not necessarily agree. The relationship of co-worker and friend to Troy, Jim, played by Stephen McKinley, are amicable, and most people can probably find themselves in Denzel's and Stephen's portrayals of these characters. You put all of these characters in a pot and stir them up with a very big spoon, and you have Fences. A movie about the individual strands or relationships that, when intertwined, form the web of unbreakable bonds. Denzel Washington shines as usual as Troy. He takes us through a wide range of emotions and self-reflection. emotions we have all had, and the character flaws we have all revealed at one time or another. Viola Davis' snotty nosed self made me want to hand her a tissue through the screen once she busted out the ugly cry. But she won numerous Best Supporting Actress awards for this role, and her command of the screen is undeniable, and her performance brought to life the very essence of a well-rounded woman. Not to mention her sacrifices in maintaining her stature as a pillar of strength in the household were evident, along with the heartbreak of it sometimes not being enough. Stephen McKinley, as Jim, plays the one friend we all wish we could have just once in a lifetime, your biggest hype man, but also has no problem telling you what you need to know and not what you want to hear. Hovind Adepo pulls at our heartstrings as a teenager with very real growing pains. Russell Hornsby as Lyons and Mykelti Williamson as Gabrielle round out a cast that makes their family all of our families. Denzel Washington and Viola Davis played these roles on Broadway in 2010. The original 1987 cast was played by James Earl Jones and Mary Alice. What an act to follow. The two lead roles reprised of Washington and Davis for this movie were very equally matched, and the other actors rounded out the cast to give us an inside glimpse of what could be any of our families. I recently saw Denzel Washington interviewed on CBS News Sunday morning, where he said he would be bringing 10 plays of August Wilson's American Century cycle to the screen. He stated, "It's a joy, it's an opportunity, it's a privilege to shepherd this material." August Wilson died of cancer in 2005 at the age of 60, but thanks in part to Denzel Washington, his work reflected on the big screen will live on. My movie ratings and best performance award will be showing next, so continue watching until the end. Subscribe and like if you haven't already, and comments are welcome, as I'll be looking to improve these reviews over time and possibly even taking requests. Also, if you have watched the movie, I'd like to hear your perspective. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next review.